dummy. Let's add some character to this shit. We ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Word up. It's the trade-off. It's the trade-off, kid. Welcome back to another dope session of HOODIES the podcast. I'm the host, the guard Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Well, maybe not so live, but we coming at you.
Yes!
You dig? And listen, if I've come to terms that for the foreseeable future, I'll be speaking a whole lot about the old location. And not necessarily the location itself, but the experience. The 10-year experience there with the barbers that I had throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I'm good. I'm more than good where I'm at, and my clients can feel that without me even saying a word. My energy different. That's all they've been telling me since I moved here. Your energy different. You're more upbeat these days. And they've noticed the change in my energy. Because, listen, for a minute, I'm going to be honest with you. Being in an old shop, like just walking in there and looking at the empty chairs, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, I had come to the realization that I was just kind of over trying to keep barbers, like I've said 1,000 times on here already. Just what it represents can be a little draining. You know what I mean? It's like a cloud of negativity that was in there that I can look back in hindsight and realize now. You know what I'm saying? The empty chairs reminded me of the barbers and the crap. And don't get me wrong. I know it makes it sound as I've been making it sound as though every barber was ass, and it wasn't. I had some decent barbers, but the ass barbers, the fuck bags, outweighed all the decent barbers. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying? Going in there, like I said, it was a reminder. But walking in that shop, right? It's like going into an old neighborhood, the old neighborhood that you once lived in. You know what I'm saying? You're just happy that you start thinking like, damn. This was life once. This was life. And you start being glad about how it ain't life no more. You know what I'm saying? Imagine living in your old neighborhood again. You know what I'm saying? Your old neighborhood. And every day when you pulled up to your block, you couldn't help but to think, damn, I don't want this for myself no more. You know what I mean? I want to do better. You know what I'm saying? I want peace. You know, you're done with the bullshit that comes with living in that environment. You know what I'm saying? And those chairs were those stations rather, okay, are like houses or buildings in the old neighborhood that I'm just tired of living in. If that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm again thankful for that whole experience. And I'm also thankful that I'm able to process it in such a positive way. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's all kind of reminders. But it's another reminder that what you seek is seeking you too. It seeks you too. You know what I'm saying? I just had to die first in order for me to live. Right? I think something like that's in the Bible too. The thing about the Bible is that whether you're a Christian or not, or atheist or whatever, or whether you believe in the characters that's in the Bible, whether you believe they real or not. Listen, the Bible is a book about life, right? We're all living life. Atheists, Muslims, Seventh-day Adventists, whoever. You're living life. So, and I've said this on numerous occasions that the stories in the Bible can be a great tool, a tool to teach, regardless of who or what you rock with. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying I was reading the Bible and came up with me having to die first in order for me to live. I'm just saying from a life perspective, that's what had to happen. So for me to die as an open floor shop owner, you know what I'm saying? It had to happen so that I can bang on them from a suite.
Yes!
You know what I'm saying? Listen. What a dope trade-off. Damn. What a dope trade-off. It's just what it is. A dope trade-off. But yo, not all trade-offs are pretty. You know what I'm saying? Mad parents come from mad environments or rough environments and had to make it out. Right? And now they're in a position to where they can give their sons and daughters the things that they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Better neighborhood, better schools, etc. The trade-off is, though, after being able to provide for your kids better neighborhood, better schools, better environment, this, that, and the third. The trade-off, however, is that, see, because their environment isn't like how yours was, volatile and a bit negative, might I add, depending on who you're around and what was popping off in your neighborhood, because it wasn't violent, rough, or volatile, and volatile might be describing all of those things. Because of that, because they don't have that, they don't have the same hunger as you or us. They don't have the same drive as us. You feel me? They don't know what it's like to have to get a job because your moms can't afford the kicks that you really want or the clothes that you really want. Because a lot of parents now, they copping the sneaks and clothes for them. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. But the trade-off is, again, now you got a teenage son who's dragging his feet and getting a job. Some adult sons and daughters are to leave the nest because they figure, what's the point in leaving? It's good here. You know what I mean? I get everything I want for as long as, and it's been happening for as long as I can remember. That's why, again, I'm a firm believer that it's wrong to rob someone of their struggle. You know what I'm saying? Let them struggle. Shit, let them fucking kids struggle, man. Fuck them kids. Let them struggle. And I don't mean it in such a negative way, but yeah, fuck them kids. Let them struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? The struggle is where we learn ourselves. It's where we learn what we're made of. You know what I'm saying? Don't rob them, because to do that, they miss an opportunity to figure out what they're made of. They lose out on an opportunity to get to learn themselves, to get to know themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's where they develop their story, right? Out of their struggle. The story is the trade-off of the struggle. You went through it. So you know that. Every time your lazy ass kids, you know what I'm saying, don't get up and do what the fuck they supposed to do, you start telling them, shit, man, y'all got it good because of whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Y'all ain't got to do whoop-de-whoop. Shit, I had to do whoop-de-whoop. Y'all fill in the blanks. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I suppose it's all across the board because, listen, there's a trade-off of being a cool business owner. There's a trade-off. You know what I mean? There's a trade-off about, like I said, just about everything when you're dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? For example, in business, the cool approach, it gets you no respect. And it breeds entitlement. Niggas be thinking you owe them some shit because you've been so good to them. Cool with them. You know what I mean? Then there's the no-nonsense approach. And it can work. The no-nonsense approach could work, but when it's administered to people who's been coddled all their life, coddled and you know what I'm saying, and folk with unresolved issues with their mother and father. There's a whole lot of men running around here who's got issues with black male authority figures, because what they really got is a serious issue with their father. He either wasn't around, or he was abusive, or he left moms, or something happened that's left a stain on your heart. You know what I'm saying? Now they looking at you all for, how dare you make me sit up here and respect the rules that I agreed to comply with? Who the fuck you supposed to be? Weird, right? Who the fuck you supposed to be? Gee, I don't know, the owner? There's even a trade-off when it comes to getting up in people's business. There's a trade-off. And real quick, man, I get asked this a whole lot about the situation with Israel and Palestine, right? And as far as the conflict with Israel and Palestine, and now other countries are getting involved, you know what I'm saying? Listen, the reason that we're told, the reason for the conflict, the reason that the news is telling us, That ain't real. Believe it or not, that's not real at all. The conflict is real, but the reason is a lie. Right? And let me say this too. Let me say this. All of us, and I mean all of us, have these inner wars that we deal with on a personal level. All of us have these inner wars, right? We got issues with insecurity. We got issues with our self-worth. Some of us, we got this self-sabotaging thing going on. We got addictions and such to whatever. It's not just drugs. Shit is pussy. It's food. It's attention. That's just on a personal level. I'm getting better. Separating these papers, right? And then, right, as black folk, we got things to deal with there too. First, it's ourselves. Now we got things that we deal with as black folk. We got issues with feeling inferior to other groups. We got issues with one another. Shit, self-hate is huge in the black community. Huge. Right? Inner wars and wars within our own kind. I'm not Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? But from conversations that I've had, they go through a crap load of shit too. Dead ass. With each other. Right? Shit, some of you Puerto Ricans, you've decided to assimilate as white folk. And now you look down on your darker brothers and sisters, with your darker complected brothers and sisters, and the nappy haired brothers and sisters. That's also a part of being Puerto Rican, a part of your people, right? And it don't take a genius to see that if you got a problem with some of your darker brothers and sisters, it's a no-brainer that some of y'all got issues with black folk. I've heard you express it. I've heard it. Which is crazy, because Puerto Ricans is a mixture of African, Spaniard, and Native American. It's just that some of y'all end up getting, you know what I'm saying, a little more of one or the other. So when you're born, you'll look probably more Spaniard, which is European, or you may look more Native American or more African. You see what I'm saying? I think y'all get my point. And just in case you don't get my point is, do you think that Israelites and Palestinians have made signs and grabbed a bullhorn and took to the streets for us? And I'm not just limiting this to black folk and Puerto Ricans and just anybody other than white. Do you think that they've made signs and grabbed a bullhorn and took to the fucking streets for us? Like when we harm each other, or against crooked cops, because I'm making it a point to say crooked cops, because not all cops are bad, right? And also agents of white supremacy. Do you think these people are taken to the streets with signs that they made and a bullhorn protesting in the streets on behalf of us? You take a moment and think. I'll wait. Man, fuck that. I'm not waiting because I know the answer. Right? They got us arguing with each other, getting worked up, debating who's right, who's wrong, taking sides. Look, man. Again, the reason that they told you ain't the real reason for the conflict. It's not. The conflict, again, is real, but the reason is a lie. Now, you might be thinking, well, shit, I'm not on America's side. Or Israel's side. I'm rocking with the Palestinians. Do you think they care? Do you think that they care whose side you on? That ain't the purpose of the lie. The purpose of the lie is to distract you. Yes! Don't give a fuck whose side you take. You think they care about your opinion? It's just to keep you distracted. To distract you with and from. Again, it's just a distraction to distract you with and from. They distract us with the lie, which in turn got us bickering with each other. Why you ain't speaking up? Why so and so quiet about what's going on? Like speaking up about it, like tweeting about it or just speaking up about it is going to change something. When was the last time a tweet changed something, let alone fucking war? You know what I'm saying? And the lie is ultimately distracting us from what's really going on. And what's really going on, listen, y'all can take to the streets and protest. You can do a petition and the whole nine. I mean, bless your heart for doing it. You know what I'm saying? But ain't no petition gonna change none of this. Petitions are only good for like trying to get a speed bump put in the community because, you know, little kids keep getting hit or almost hit in a particular area. They do that. Maybe put a stop sign up, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's money in war, right? Unless you can sit down with the top generals, the top elected officials, et cetera, and tell them to knock it off, then you ain't doing shit. Listen, you're not doing shit. And ain't nobody sitting down talking to you, man. Nobody's gonna sit down and talk to you. Why? You don't have any power. What are you gonna do? I don't give a damn about what you think. So petition? A petition. You really think all we needed to do was just get a bunch of people to sign a petition to make the world a better place? Damn. You mean all this time, Martin and Malcolm and Asada and Fannie Lou Hamer and brother Dick Gregory with, you know, being political with his, you know, stand-up comedy, Angela Davis, Stokely Carmichael. Really? You mean to tell me a petition was all we needed to change things? Knock it off, man. But you ain't got to take my word for it. Bless your heart, though, and good luck with that. They just got you distracted while the real quest, the real reason for all of this is unfolding right up under your nose. Right up under there. Again, you ain't got to listen to me. You don't have to listen to me. That's the trade-off of having an opinion. Some people will listen, some people won't. And that's what's up. I don't care no more than they do. Do what you want to do, but I say, fight your own war. Fight your own war. Deal with your insecurities. Deal with your poor eating habits. Deal with how you handle making money. Deal with how you talk to yourself. Deal with how you talk to others. Deal with your life. Deal with that war. And then bestow that feeling of, no, not the feeling, but bestow your healing on your family. Your kids, especially the kids. Because that'll make the kids better people who will go out into the world and make that a better place. Because they are better.
Yes!
That's the trade-off. That's real revolutionary change. Not the only, but that is real revolutionary change. A petition ain't gonna change shit. A protest ain't gonna change shit. It never has. Granted, protesting and marching and out there doing your thing, don't get me wrong, that is where solidarity starts. You look to your left and your right and say, oh, you know, this is what you believe, or maybe y'all can come together and think of a more effective way to promote some change. You know what I'm saying? You can't take my word for it, but that's real revolutionary change, right? Because war is going to be what it's going to be. War. Just like the one you fighting personally. See what I'm saying? Word. So, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam is filing a $5 billion lawsuit against the ADL. The ADL is the Anti-Defamation League. And the lawsuit is, well, for defamation and over false anti-Semitism claims. Right? I don't know any more about this than what's here. Go ahead and screenshot this letter from the Nation of Islam and read it for yourself. But good for the minister, man. Word up. Because claims of him being an anti-Semite has been kicked around for as long as I can remember. Right? I've listened to many speeches by the minister, and I can vouch for his words being taken out of context. People tend to take clips of a speech and run with that, much like how they did Kevin Samuels, and much how they did Kanye West a little bit, much how they do a whole lot of people. They'll take a hot clip, a hot take, put some music with it, and put a caption under it. And for people who don't read, who don't go and dig into things for themselves, they're going to go ahead and believe that is right there in front of them on their Instagram feed, on their YouTube feed, and on their Twitter feed. It's not called Twitter no more, but y'all get it. Right? So it's like when a movie comes out. The trailer always puts out the funniest or heaviest parts of the movie to get you to go see it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to see the whole movie in its entirety to get the full context. That's the problem when it comes to Minister Farrakhan's speeches. Keep that in mind. And I'll try to I'll report more as the lawsuit, as I learn more, as time progresses and all of that. All right. And another thing before I get out of here, shout out to my Uncle Big Jr. on getting married.
Holy matrimony. God's word teaches us that marriage is a covenant relationship between one man and one woman. It is a relationship in which both freely and totally give to one another in life, for life. The Lord declares that man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and thus the two shall be twain one. We know that God is love, and because God is love, we know that love is intentional. Just as God finds you where you are, love also finds you where you are. When love finds you, it will do everything in its power to keep you. The saying, God gives you what you need, it's appropriate in this situation. God knew that Angel needed James, and James needed Angel. Lord have mercy. One fateful day, while she was at work, God introduced Angel to James.
Shout out to Uncle Big Jr. Word out. I didn't make it to the wedding, but from the footage that I saw, it was a beautiful event. And I must say, it's pretty dope watching the elder siblings. What I mean by elder siblings, I mean like my mom's, my uncle, and her brothers and sisters. My Uncle Big Aaron, my Aunt Samira, Big Jr., and my Uncle Marty, and everybody get together to show up for Big Jr. on his wedding. Shout out to them. I love how the elder siblings in the family always show up for each other. Well, maybe not always, but they show up for each other. Yes! Cousins was there, so on and so forth. Looked like it was a vibe, man. So congrats again, Unc, on your wedding. Wishing you and your bride all the best. And hey, married him a tenderoni, man. The truth about Roni. I ain't about to do that. Y'all know what it is. So check it, man. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know about some of the things that I said here tonight. Let me know what you think about them. Go ahead and comment, man. Word up. I'm the guard Rashidi. This is Hoodies, man. Yes! From the Skill Suite. Coming at you live. Not so live. Coming at you. Peace.
Subscribe to this channel. Over and out.